My name is Ryan Gromfit. I'm an author, speaker, chef, restaurateur, and the founder of therestaurantboss.com, clickbacon.com, and like I said, author of Make It Happen, a tiny book for building a big restaurant business. Grab your copy of the book completely free at our website. Enough of that. Why do I want you to pretend like you're about to sell your restaurant? I want you to pretend like you're about to sell your restaurant because that's where you're going to know where to make some improvements. So I get this call once in a while, an email or a call. I get on the phone with a client or a new prospective client, and it sounds something like this. I can't do this anymore. I need to sell my restaurant. Okay. They tell me about their restaurant. I'm like, yeah, like you're not going to get that much money for your restaurant because you don't really have anything to sell. Like you don't have a manager who's doing a great job. You don't have a big engaged list. Your sales are down a lot. You don't have much time left on your lease. Like you're going to sell for probably about 10% of what you think you're going to sell for. Like I'm just being real. The last time this happened was about 6 months ago. Client wanted to sell a pizza restaurant. They wanted to sell it for like $450,000. And I did some quick math in my head. I have some formulas and some methods that I value restaurants. And I was like, you'll be lucky to get like $50,000 for it. He's like, you're out of your mind. You're crazy. And we talked for a little bit and he listed it. Point is, it's been about 9 months now. The highest offer he had was like, I think like 65,000. He didn't take it, of course. I told him he'd get about 50. If he listed it at 50, it would have sold. But the point is now he still has the restaurant and it's 9 months later and he's even more frustrated than he was before. Now, the way that call can go better is people say, really, are you serious? I say, yes. And then I say, they're like, well, how do I sell it for more? And I'm like, okay, here's what we need to do. It's going to take you probably a year and a half to do all this stuff. But we put together a plan. But then I always tell them, I said, here's the thing though, is at the end of that plan, your restaurant's going to be operating so well that you're not going to want to sell it anymore. You're going to want to keep it because you'll continue to make the cash and then you'll be able to sell it. And so I want to put out this video today for you to get into this mindset of if I were to sell my business right now, if I were to list it, or if I were to say, I want to retire in a year, I want to sell my restaurant in a year, what are the things you would need to fix to get top dollar for it? If you were to go sell your house, what do we usually do? We make sure that the lawn is nice and green, right? We repaint a little bit. We fix some of the cracks in the walls. We get rid of a lot of the trash in our house, like the old stuff, like the little stuff here and the stuff there. We make it cleaner. We get rid of a lot of the furniture to make it more open feeling. So when someone looks at it, they go, oh, wow, the lawn is beautiful. The paint is well kept up. The floors look great. The paint on the walls is nice. They pay a premium. But if they walk in and they see crap everywhere and a dead lawn and trees that haven't been trimmed in 7 years and this whole, stuff that doesn't work, they're either not going to buy or they're going to make you a lowball. This is obvious. We know this. But I want you to keep thinking now about your restaurant. Like, what are the things that add value to a restaurant? Clean working equipment. A manager in place that will go with the sale that really knows what they're doing. Systems, processes, procedures, right? Why do people want to buy franchises so bad? Because they don't want to figure this stuff out. So they buy a franchise that figured it all out for them, right? I always talk about if you want to sell your restaurant, you have to sell a business, not a restaurant. Nobody wants to buy a restaurant. They want to buy a business. What's the difference between a restaurant and a business? A restaurant is you own your job. If you are a restaurant owner right now, you basically own your job. If you're a business owner, anyone can operate it. Anyone can run it. You can be out of town and it runs. You could sell it to anyone and it will run. If you own a 20 unit or even a single unit restaurant, but you have a manager in place, you have systems and processes and procedures, you're barely ever there, well, then you could sell that restaurant to a lawyer, a doctor, a business investor, any type of person. But if you are the chef in your restaurant, if you are the manager in your restaurant. If you are the everything in your restaurant, then the only people who can buy your restaurant are other restaurant operators or people who want to operate a restaurant. And unfortunately, most restaurant operators and people who want to operate a restaurant don't have the type of money to buy a restaurant at the value you want to sell it for. So again, just think about like equipment, cleanliness, systems, processes, procedures, your email list, your text message list, your online ordering, your ratings, your reviews, your sales, your costs of goods sold, your labor costs, what kind of technology you have. Like those are all the things that if you were preparing your restaurant to sell maybe next year or in the next 2 years because you want to retire, those are all areas you would address in your restaurant. So again, I just highly encourage you right now to think about whether you plan on this or not. I want you to set a goal that you're going to sell your restaurant for top dollar in 1 year, and then write out a list of what you would do to make sure that that happens. If you need help creating that list or you need help putting together any sort of plans, head on over to therestaurantboss.com, click on work with me. We've got all kinds of different options for us to do one-on-one strategy sessions, for you to join our membership, or just watch the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of free videos we have on our website. You can grab a copy of our book. We are here to help you improve your restaurant operations in any way that we can. Head over to therestaurantboss.com, and thank you for your time. My name is Ryan Gromfin. I love every single one of you crazy restaurant people. And remember, systems create freedom, freedom creates value, and value creates scale. Pretend like you're going to sell your restaurant to figure out what you need to fix. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.
Make It Happen is the book I wish I had when I was operating restaurants. Inside are the lessons that took me 10 years to learn and 10 more years of teaching to perfect. I've condensed the most important lessons into this tiny book for building a big restaurant business. I am on a mission to improve restaurants all over the world. Because of that, I want to send you a free copy. Grab yours today at therestaurantboss.com.